welcome back to the Breaker Bros. And tonight we're going to review the top offensive tackles prospect for the 2025 NFL Draft. And yeah, I guess after reviewing the film, it's got me a little bit feeling better about the guard position going into the draft. I know a lot of people are hoping that the Bengals would sign a starting guard in the offseason, and it doesn't look like we've done that yet for the Bengals. But yeah, just looking at the prospects, it has me feeling a little bit better as far as maybe getting a tackle to play guard. But yeah,
it's the Bengals way. It's the
Bengals
Bengals way.
But yeah, how'd you feel after reviewing the film?
I wouldn't say I feel good about it, but I do think that there are going to be a lot of options in this, maybe in the second round. So maybe the way the board is, maybe you don't have to pick a guard or a tackle in the first round, and maybe you could go more, try to fill that need in the second round, because there looks like there's a lot of guys that will be available in the second round according to these projections.
I would say even a guy falling into the third round, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of offensive linemen drafted in the second and third round. But yeah, just looking at the tackles and just kind of seeing them play guard, I think it really opens up the options, because I guess there's a few options in the first round, or at least what we thought was in the first round. Well, I don't know. Looking at the first one, you gave the Mimbow a second round grade. I gave him a first round grade.
I mean, so we filled this out before we looked up the relative athletic score. So I don't think he'll be available beyond the first round. He's probably going to be, top half of the first round pick. But in my world, I see him as a second rounder.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'll probably go to a team that needs a tackle.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely looks like he can play both positions. And
yeah,
I feel like as far as like tackle and guard, but I think he would make it interesting if he made it all the way to 17. It would really just depend on how the board looks. And honestly, the more I see like how grades are starting to, I guess, settle in, it feels more like the Bengals will probably trade back into the later half of the first round.
Well, I mean, we could dream, right? I mean, that's always what I want them to do, is to trade back.
I think they do that, and you have a chance to still get a potential starting defensive tackle, or even.
Well, I mean, just from roster construction in general. I mean, they've spent a lot of money on wide receiver, right, in the past few weeks, and they only have 6 picks this year. So, and the defense was not good last year. So, they have a lot of holes to fill. So I don't think that they need to find a star. They need to find guys who can, contribute. They need to add role players. And I mean, to me, the best way to do that is to load up on second and third round picks, right? So if you could trade down a little bit in the first round and pick up an extra third round pick or an extra second round pick, especially for this offseason, I think that would be great for the Bengals. But and maybe if we do a mock, maybe we should play the game where we trade back. I don't know if we'll be like peak Bill Belichick and be able to trade back like a dozen times and pick up half the second round, but maybe we try like one trade back and see what that does for us.
Yeah, I say we just do one without a trade and one with a trade back, and see what the difference can be. Yeah. But yeah, no, Mbow, I mean, he looks pretty good. I just don't see him being there at the 17 pick. He just, but to be fair, I haven't looked at all the other teams ahead of the Bengals to see how many teams really need offensive line help. But I mean, the league is becoming more and more of a pass rushing, like it's really starting to dominate. So it's like you can never have a shortage of, or have too many decent offensive line. So I don't know. The tackles look pretty good in this draft, and I didn't realize how many quality tackles were available. And just looking through all the different players, it definitely makes me feel a little bit better that the Bengals didn't do as much as far as getting a starting guard through free agency. So I do feel a little bit better about that. But yeah, I guess we can talk about the other person, Kelvin Banks. I guess our other first round option. And we're really talking about the players that we feel probably fit the best for the Bengals.
Yeah, because I think the guys that we highlighted were guys that we thought if the Bengals picked them, they could probably play some guard, or maybe even more strongly than that. Like if the Bengals drafted them, they would probably draft them specifically to play guard.
Also, on top of that, these are our favorite players. Not to say there's other players on this list that can't do both either, but
yeah, it's just based on our research.
Yeah, which
who we like the best.
Very high level. So, but yeah, Kelvin Banks out of Texas looks good. Seems like he had a lot of starting experience, especially. I think he played a little bit as guard, right? Kelvin Banks Jr.
Let's see. We can look it up.
21, good age.
He played no guard.
No guard, okay.
He was purely a left tackle.
Okay, well, but his grades look pretty good.
Oh yeah, he's a good player, but a left tackle.
And I think that's part of the reason why we picked some of the people we picked, or all the people we picked, is that based off of what we saw, they looked really good. Like the film at least jumped out to us.
Yeah, we like the way he blocked.
And for the most part, it kind of matched up with their RAS scores because, again, we looked at the film first before we even looked at the RAS scores, and it seemed like a lot of the ones that we did like were on the higher end. And of course, there were some that graded a little bit better, but we kind of saw them more of just strictly tackles, maybe not necessarily where you could play as guard and then eventually tackle. But yeah, no, I like Kelvin Banks. I could see him being in the first round. Maybe 17 might be a little bit too high for him. I wouldn't necessarily be mad at the pick.
Yeah,
especially if you feel like he can come in and start. The only thing I'll say about that, and it kind of goes along with our second round picks, is that I personally want them to actually draft a guard to play guard and not do the whole, okay, let's get a tackle that could play guard and essentially could be a tackle in the future, because that's what they did with their last couple of picks with Carmen Jackson and Volson, where they were tackles in college and they thought they could put them over in guard, and then they didn't really translate. But
yeah, so I think that's why we both like Donovan Jackson, because he's a guy that played guard and then because of injury this year at Ohio State played left tackle. So he's shown that he can play tackle, and then PFF has him listed as a tackle in their big board.
Donovan Jackson too, I feel like with the way he plays and his size and his experience and his versatility, I can also see him being drafted late in the first half too, or first round, like in the between 20 and I guess 31 picks, because there's a lot of those playoff teams that still need protection, because I mean, even if you look in the AFC North, I feel like there's a few teams that if you're looking at the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals, I feel like the Browns have a pretty decent setup at offensive line, but all the other teams, I think they're going to be looking for players throughout the draft. And then I feel like the Chiefs are probably going to be looking for some players. So, like, I could see a player like Donovan Jackson going to the Chiefs to kind of shore up some of the things that they're going. But if he's there in the second round for the Bengals, I can also see him being picked. He wouldn't necessarily be my number one pick, in the second round. I think Ursary would be mine. But either one I could see going in the second round, and either one of those could be potentially the starting guard for the Bengals. But there's like 3 or 4 players in terms of.
Yeah, I liked Ursary as well, but I thought he's so tall that he just seems like he's a tackle. But
yeah, but the thing
I
about
do like
him,
him. I like him as a player.
to me is that he just looked really strong. And
he
looked
looked
like one of those people that
yeah.
if he got his hands on you, like you were going down to the ground. He was a great finisher.
Yeah, no, I liked him a lot.
And I feel like if you put him in the interior offensive line, I feel like he's one of those people that could actually hold up against, some of the defensive linemen that they have to face year in and year out in the AFC North, specifically Hayward. I mean, he's the one that's like knocking everyone over. And I feel like Ursary's a guy that can kind of hold up against like a bull rush from Hayward. And don't get me wrong, Hayward is Hayward, and there's a reason why he's an All-Pro. But pretty much all the Bengals fans know what we're talking about. It's just Bolson got blown up from is just like
forklift and walk him back to the quarterback. I mean, we need a guy that's at least hard to pick up and move.
Yeah. I guess the only thing about him, I feel like he might be a bit older because it says
he'll probably be retiring in a year or two. But the point remains. I mean, other teams have big, powerful defensive tackles. I mean, we need a guy that can handle the power, collapse the pocket, tie up, pass rush. I think,
and that's another reason why I like M'Bow. I feel like
let's look at M'Bow because this is one that we disagreed on. So I thought that he was. I think he just. I didn't like it. I thought he played high. I thought he was a little choppy in his movements, and I thought he was using his hands like in a way that would get called for penalties. But there is no relative athletic score for M'Bow. But let's pull up his profile. So he's a right tackle, but he did play some right guard his freshman year. So that'll be one that we'll just have to agree to disagree on. We'll see, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot can happen from. Well, actually, when is the draft? The draft, I feel like, is right around the corner.
It's in a few weeks. Yeah. We are not. We're gonna have to do some like 2-a-days or something to catch up.
Yeah.
But I actually like the guy from Arizona a lot more. I like that Jonah Sava,
He's the Simone guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I remember that guy. He the only thing about him is he didn't look that quick. But I mean, if you're looking to put him as guard, then you're not going to be as quick.
Yeah, let's see he had a really high athletic score, 9.19.
So I mean, I would imagine that would have to make him kind of quick. He just on the film, it did not look quick at all.
Well, maybe he's just like a freak on the strength. So
no, they said
he's fast, but his his shuttle wasn't great, and his explosiveness wasn't great. It was just good.
And they said he's kind of short, I guess, for a tackle.
Yeah, what they have him listed as 6'5".
Yeah, I guess 6'6" is 6'6".
Well, they have him.
6'4".
6041? 6'4".
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So all right. You want to do a couple mocks then?
Yeah, let's do a few mocks. Let's see if we can do one with the trade and just a regular mock.
Okay, so I'm gonna move my cheat sheet up here, and then go like that, and then we'll go mock draft. Okay, how many rounds you want to do?
We could do 7.
7. And then Okay, you ready?
Let's do
I feel like I haven't. Where's the speed at? Oh, turbo. Will it go fast? All right. So are we just going to pick on this one and then trade on the second one?
I guess we could just start it and see what kind of trade offer we get. If it looks decent, then we'll start with a trade on this one. Looks like there's 2 trade offers.
Okay. But Malachi Starks has dropped all the way down to us.
That's nice.
And then we have
There's Pierce
and Grant. And Simmons dropped to us.
There's Banks, Nolan.
Okay. So we got a lot of options.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, trades. Where does it say? It says 2. Okay. We got teams interested in pick 17. Steelers? Nope. Cowboys? They don't pick until 44.
No. I don't see how that. Like, what would we get? 40? No, that's not going to work.
You do 44 and 76.
No.
Well, let's just figure it out. Okay. Oh. Okay, they don't this says this trade would likely be accepted. So like they don't have enough capital to make the trade worthwhile.
Yeah.
And then if we say we did trade with the Steelers, we would do what, 21 and 83.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're okay.
That's crazy.
So we got the second and the third. No, wait. Yeah, second and a third to move back 4 spots. Of course. Oh, and they picked Shooter Sanders.
What? He dropped all the way back.
Hey.
That's crazy.
Okay. And then I would have gone for James Pierce. I like the idea of getting an edge.
Okay, let's do it. Because I'm interested to see what our first pick option would be in the second round for the offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Ursery.
Ooh.
Let's look at let's filter.
I think Jackson. Yeah, Jackson's still
Ursery,
there.
Jackson.
If you filter back out to all,
Uh-huh.
let's see. I just wanted to see what other options. Where you got an edge? I guess linebacker. I don't know. Junkins. I'd be interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe getting Jackson next.
Mm-hmm. So you want to get Judkins?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, the problem is that the guys we want are like 60, and we don't pick again until like 80.
Oh, we don't?
No.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, then you get the offensive lineman.
Yeah. So you like Ursery?
I would pick Ursery, but I mean, if you pick Jackson,
that's fine. Ursery give us a higher grade.
All right, let's do it then.
Okay.
Ooh, I would take Norman Lott.
Okay. Oh, we got the. I liked him.
I mean, I feel like they kind of have to double dip.
And I
Oh,
like
they
Wyatt
still have
Millum.
Ratledge too. What the heck?
Dude. Well, let's get Ratledge then.
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like they will have to get 2 offensive linemen regardless.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe linebacker, safety, receiver. Well, I guess we could get running back too. I don't think we got a running back yet.
Right. Okay. Well, the board says we should take the safety,
All right.
even though we have not looked at safety, so who knows?
I like JJ. Is it
Okay.
Pigs?
Pigs. It's good enough for me.
Because he's versatile. He could play defensive tackle, tight end, fullback. I feel like we might want to look at a running back.
Okay. We got Jarquez Hunter.
Did Ollie Gordon go already?
Oh, we got Trevor Etienne.
Yeah.
I like Trevor Etienne. Even though it's going to tell us that we should pick the other guy. That's some B- grading right there. B- drafting, I guess, in terms of grade.
I think we got to go for a linebacker now.
Yeah. There are no linebackers.
Oh, there's Ollie Gordon again.
Yeah, let's just draft Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon is going to be our new mascot. Who did we draft all the time in the 7th round last year? Eric All. Yeah, Ollie Gordon's our new Eric All. We're going to pick him in the 6th round every single draft we do.
I don't think he'll be there in the 6th round, but that's just me. He's actually, I think what I saw, he's actually a decent pass blocker.
It says we should draft a Carson Schweisinger. And you know what? Looking back, maybe we should have.
Well, yeah, because we got Ratledge in the...
Yeah, well, that and the other guys I liked were available at 81 as well. So... we got A-. That's not bad.
It's kind of crazy considering we have a few Ds, but I'll take it.
Yeah, the Ollie Gordon D+.
Well, it's like Gordon and Etienne can fight for the last spot on the roster.
Oh, probably because we picked 2 halfbacks.
Yeah.
Probably why.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. You ready to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it without the trade.
No trade?
No trade.
I want to look at trades. But we'll do a no trade. But can we at least look?
Yeah, we could look at it.
Okay. As long as we can look.
I feel like it's set up to where... Oh, there's no trades. Or is it, say, 0 or 6?
6.
Oh, okay.
Buccaneers, Broncos, Packers, Lions, Eagles, Panthers. But we...
Like out of this list, like if we were to stay at 17, I feel like Starks
Yeah, I
or
feel like
even Pierce, but I think Starks
yeah, let's do Starks.
because like he's such a playmaker that like
Yeah, and he slipped down to us.
and I think he would be a starter too, so it'd be like a
Yeah.
no brainer. So in this situation, since we didn't go edge, I feel like maybe we go for that Princely
Okay.
for edge.
I think next film session we should look at edge rushers.
Yeah.
Because I think we can get our guard / tackle in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can get Jonah, Save, yeah. Or we could get Wyatt Millum. Or we get Tate Ratledge.
For me, I'm taking Ratledge all day.
Yeah. I agree, mostly for grading purposes.
I don't know. I feel like
PFF will give us a higher grade if we pick a guard because it says we need a guard.
Okay, so this is round 4.
So have we picked any? What did we pick? We picked an edge.
You got safety, edge, and then guard. So we probably need a defensive tackle or
a linebacker.
Or linebacker, yeah.
So you got Barrett Carter or Jack Kaiser. Or we can go Jamari Caldwell. There's some, or that Pigwas guy again.
I mean, it's up to you. Whatever you're feeling.
Let's try the linebacker.
All right. It's different. Can you do me a favor and filter out the defensive interior? So the next one's not until, does it say 185?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like it's probably better to
We got
wait.
a trade offer.
Patriots.
We can go down to 177.
177 and pick up a 220, maybe?
Okay. Pick up a 6th and a 7th for our 5th.
But we still keep the 5th, though, right? It's just 171.
Well, 171. I don't know if that's still in the 5th or not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So
We got a linebacker.
yeah.
Don't know if I don't feel like tight end's really that much of a need.
Yeah, I feel like we traded too much already.
At some point, we need a defensive tackle. Probably could go for a receiver. Maybe another guard. Or possibly tackle.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're picking at 191. Let's just let's go defensive interior.
Okay.
Let me filter. Make sure we're not missing someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we still get Kandra? Or has he been drafted already? Yeah, it looks like
he's been drafted.
Okay. Do we see any of our other tackle prospects? Or I guess they all been drafted already.
I don't know.
I think they have, because I think all the ones we were looking at. Oh, Holland Pierce. He'd be interesting, but I think we can wait a few more picks.
Yeah.
We got a linebacker. So we got a defensive tackle. We got a safety. I guess we could do a receiver. There's Ollie Gordon.
He's a Bengal.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I vaguely remember looking at Miles Frazier.
I feel like we liked him, but
let me see. I have my notes up here. I'll pull them up. What did we think about Miles Frazier? We liked him a lot, actually.
then draft him. Get him. Who are the people we picked? Did we get a receiver yet?
No.
Okay. Then I feel like we just got to take the best available receiver.
There you go. Will Shepard.
There you go.
This feels like an A+, man.
Gotta be. They do not like the Tate Ratledge pick. That's weird.
Man, they hate Ollie Gordon.
Why?
B+. I feel like that was a fine pick.
I like
I
this
wish they would tell
better
you
than
why
the
they gave. I wish they would tell you why they gave you a D+, right?
I feel like Ollie Gordon is actually going to get drafted. Like,
I'm just saying, though, like, I mean, a running back in the 6th round, like, you have to draft a running back. Like, every team drafts a running back every year, right? Like, you need a guy.
Me looking at this, I feel like maybe defensive tackle we could have done a little bit better, but everything else looks fine.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's yeah. But I don't agree with them that we need defensive tackle as much as we need edge rusher.
Is that what they're saying?
Well, I think they say defensive line, but they said our worst pick was Vernon. We didn't take Vernon Boughton, and we took Tate Ratledge, which I would disagree with because I mean, Tate Ratledge. It says we need a guard. I think we need a guard more than we need a defensive interior.
No, I agree for sure.
I stand by this.
That was obvious when we re-signed BJ Hill, because like when that kind of shocked me. I mean, I don't hate it. It's just I thought we were gonna look for a starter in the draft for defensive tackle, but the fact that they brought back BJ Hill kind of tells me that they're not really looking for a starter for a defensive interior.
Yeah,
I mean, if the right one falls to him.
Yeah, I mean, right. If a guy that looks like if there's a guy that you have rated super high and he comes to you, you gotta take him. But they picked defensive interior in the 2nd and 3rd round last year, right? So like, I think it's a little too much to expect a 2nd or 3rd round pick to be like a starter. Their rookie, like, you know, dependable starter, their rookie, like you hope they can, but like by the 2nd year, it's just like, yeah, they should take over a vast majority of the snaps between the two of them. So,
but what I do like about our board is the first 5 picks, 4 of them were defensive players. So I feel like that's kind of what they need to do.
Yeah,
Load up on those defensive picks early in the draft, especially with how much we're paying our offensive players. But it's also important to get that starting guard within the first 3 rounds, I feel like. And I feel like they can. I think they have quality offensive linemen in the draft that you can get a starter within the first 3 rounds. So I think it's doable.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the sweet spot for offensive line is like the second and third round this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, first round, I think you just get like.
Yeah, because in the first round,
a
you're going to get a defensive playmaker one way or another, right? I feel like between Green, Pierce, Starks, and that linebacker, Campbell, I feel like you're going to get a really good defensive player around, like an actual playmaker. And I feel like if one of those playmakers don't fall to you, then you trade back. And that way you can double up a little bit in the second and third rounds.
All right, let's do another one.
Okay.
I turned down randomness and I made it public.
Okay.
All right.
Starks, Green, Pierce. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. This definitely feels like a year where they can probably trade back a little bit, especially if they can get.
We have 27 trade offers.
What? Okay, do the one with. I think the one that makes the most sense is the Lions.
Why the Lions? Why wouldn't we trade with the Broncos or the Buccaneers? They picked 2 after us.
I mean, I guess we could, but I feel realistically, like if you're trying to get more picks in the mid rounds, you would go with the Lions.
Well, let's see what happens. Okay.
Eh. Don't do that. See
why? We could trade again with all these other the teams that pick after us.
Okay.
See, we got trades again.
Okay.
So then trade with the Chargers. There we go, that, and then we go. Okay. And we go this, and we get 97. All right.
So how many third round picks do we have now? Like 6?
We have a lot. This is getting absurd, but who else wants to trade with us? We could trade with the Rams.
Try the 90.
Bang. Okay. Okay. I say we pull the trigger and get Walter Nolan.
Yep, do it.
Okay. So now we pick 49, 81, 84, 86, 80, all the 80s. Okay.
We can get all the offensive linemen. All right.
Okay.
I feel like we gotta go for edge now.
I agree.
Or maybe the linebacker. Demetrius Knight.
No, we just need to start drafting. We could get the entire third round if we keep it up. Okay, let's try the linebacker. Even though I don't like it, but I think we have a lot of picks that I like the third round. So, all right. So we have done interior and linebacker. So now,
Probably the guard.
yeah. Yeah, looks like we got a lot of options for guard. So I say we go Jonah or how about, well, these guys are ranked so much lower. So frustrating. What do you want to pick?
Yeah, just go with Jonah.
Okay, because I think we can get Ratledge at 84.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Just take both of them.
Okay, and then we get Ratledge. Okay.
Maybe a running back? Well, maybe it's too early for that.
Well, we could. I don't like RJ Harvey because he plays for UCF.
I mean, I feel like we got so many picks that we might be able to do that Savion Williams, receiver out of TCU.
Where is he?
You just passed him.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we can go safety too. Penn State. Oh, there's Makuba.
You know him?
No, I think a lot of people like him for the Bengals, but
Oh,
we just drafted a safety, so I think we're good.
okay.
I mean, I kind of like that tight end, that Fannin
Well,
out of
Harold?
Bowling Green. Yeah.
Okay.
Did we get a linebacker yet? Can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, second round we picked a linebacker.
I guess we can get another defensive lineman.
Okay. Caldwell,
You could do Caldwell, yeah.
you're up.
We never got a running back yet. Get it. Good old Ollie Gordon.
That's next pick. We could pick Gordon.
Okay. And then maybe a tackle?
A offensive tackle?
Offensive tackle, yeah.
We already picked one.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we picked two guards.
Well, but he's listed as a tackle.
Okay. Yeah, then we're good on that. Maybe a DB.
Yeah.
Riley.
Where's... Oh, okay. Quincy Riley.
And then Ollie Gordon,
Yeah.
if he's still there. Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Just hoping that we could pick Ollie Gordon without getting a D.
I don't see how this would be a D, but I think they just always going to hate our second round pick, I think. Oh no. They love that one.
D plus again for Ollie Gordon.
I don't know why
Maybe we need to trade back. B plus. All right. All right. Think
Yeah.
we've done it enough.
I think we did it enough, but I feel pretty good going into the draft after seeing the tackle situation. So there are going to be plenty of guard options. It's just a matter of when they get it, whether it's the first, second, or third round. But I feel like as long as they get a guard within the first 3 rounds, they should be starter quality.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to add, or
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, I guess we'll close it up then. All right. Peace.